Very good morning to each and everyone, Amma. Welcome to another warming session. And now we are very happy to share a good news with you that in the yesterday's examination, that is on 6/7/2021, CA Inter Accounts examination, which was conducted by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, uh, almost around 75 marks were being covered from our guest questions, and the entire paper was directly from our material itself. I mean, many of the questions, I mean, entire question paper was from our material, and many of the questions, as just now I have mentioned, that around 75 marks were directly being from our guest questions. So we are very, very happy, and hence to all my dear children of CA Foundation and CA Inter are highly recommended to go through the guest questions before going to the examination. And to have a very quick and one word, the paper is not difficult at all. The paper is very, very easy. And many of the students have opined the same. And many of the students have admitted the same, that the paper is very easy. But the main problem is that they have complained that the paper is lengthy. But strictly speaking, the paper even is not lengthy also. See, why people had felt it was lengthy being, many of the children have not practiced the problems. See, it's quite being accustomed in accounts that people will be just going through the questions. They will be looking over to the question, looking over to the solution, and they will be highlighting the different point, and they just go through that and they just leave it. But none of the students will be keeping the time, and none of the students will be practicing by putting the pen on the paper, which is a main drawback in the accounts. And hence, to all my dear children who are going to write the examination in the next attempt, are highly recommended to practice, not just look over to the things. So this was being very, very important for you, and please take care. So in this session, let's have a quick look over to the things that were being covered from our material. I mean, I'll be showing you the things from where the question is being covered. And also let's go through the different points that were being in the question paper of yesterday's. So let's start the session without any delay. See the question paper. First question is accounting standard number 2. As like we all people know that the first question is a compulsory question, and it will be from accounting standards, and the first question is from accounting standard number 2. Nothing new to discuss here and nothing great to discuss here, because the question I'll be showing you in here. Page number 47, question number 4. See, just have a look over to this question. This style of question was absolutely similar to the question which was given in the question paper. So this first question is directly from our material itself, and nothing great to discuss with it. So, but only one point that you need to look here is that replacement cost of the raw material was given as rupees 90, and finished goods were expected to be sold at rupees 40. So these were being given. So finished goods should be valued at cost or NRV, whichever is lower, and raw material should be valued at generally it should be valued at cost price. But if at all the selling price of finished good is lesser than the cost price, then it has to be valued at replacement cost. This point should be perfectly noted. I mean, this point should be promptly written by the students in the examination so as to get marks. I mean, like to tell you that raw materials being valued, I mean, valuation of raw material is going to be a typical part here. So just have a look. And one more thing here is that fixed overheads. So apportionment of fixed overheads will be like a normal or actual production, whichever is higher. So here the actual production is like 20,400 units and the normal production is like 30,000 units. So whichever is higher, we have to consider 30,000 units. So this is what the question number 1 is. And now moving on to the question number 2, accounting standard number 10. In question number B, 1B, 1 and 2, 2 points were covered here. And also these two things were in our material. I'll be quickly showing you that one. Page number 87 and 88, CRD 3, Srishti Limited problem, and also CRD number 7 in page number 88. This is the problem. Major super chain markets. And also teachers will be telling you that these things are going to be important and famous models which will be tested in the examination all the time. So this is what our second question, which was totally being covered without any change. So nothing great at all. So you can, as it is, I mean, you can reproduce the answer as it is. And moving on to question number C. See, question number C is all about accounting standard number 12, government grants. So page number 136. So let's have a look over to this. Page number 136, CRD 1A. Just I'll be showing you. Yeah, 4A. This is the one. And just have a look over to the question. Subsidy from central government for setting up an industrial undertaking in backward area, and 15 lakhs grant received for installation of affluent treatment plant, and 25 lakh state government for providing medical facilities during the pandemic. So in this question, he is covering three types of things. That in the first one, since it's in backward area, it is to be treated as a capital reserve, capital nature of the grant, and 15 lakhs installation of effluent treatment plant. So this is absolutely related to the fixed asset, grant receipt for fixed asset. And last but not least, 25 lakhs for workmen during the pandemic. So which is like, should be treated as a revenue grant. So which was been there in our material, which is similar to this one, problem number 4. So see here, anti-pollution equipment from backward areas. And the next one is providing medical facilities to the employees. Even the question is also similar. And yes, moving on to the next question, 1D. See, 1D is absolute and very, very easy question. Accounting standard number 3, cash flow statement, and also the direct method. See, many of the people will be deterring that we might be going with indirect method. And in the examination, it was being practiced from the last 3 to 4 attempts. From cash flow statement, he'll be asking indirect method, but surprisingly, in this attempt, he has asked direct method, and nothing great and nothing difficult with it. Even coming to cash flow statement, I'll be just showing you. Page number 136. Yeah, just have a look. Absolutely similar. Just the numbers were differed, but apart from that, everything is one and the same. Repayment of bank overdraft and repayments of bank loan. That's the minor difference, nothing great at all with it. And this is what the point. So that is the end of question number 1. And also many of the teachers will be telling that this is an easy question, 5 marks. And even ACE 12 is an easy one. Many of the teachers will be telling that these are famous questions, and even B. So just problem number 1A, it might be something that just by looking over through the paper immediately in the first question itself, people will be getting a bit of shock, like first question, it's a bit of lengthy, or it's from unfamous model or something like that. But apart from this, everything is very easy. And even first one is also easy if you have gone through it properly. Anyways, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Surprisingly, this time 20 marks were being directly from investments. Till the last attempt investments, he will be asking just 10 marks. But here it's a comprehensive model wherein he's been asking bonds, and also equity was being covered. So investment in bonds and investment in equity shares, these were being covered here. So investment, page number 47. In our material, it was being in page number 47, CRD number 13. Yes. So if you look here, bonds, first off, and the second off is absolutely similar to equity shares. And also, my dear children, here we are with the guest questions now. Just if you look with the guest questions, yeah. So here, accounting standard number 3 is also from our guest questions itself. And now investment accounts, page number 1, problem number 3. Guest questions, page number 1, problem number 3. Yes. See, CRD 13, 43rd edition, and the same CRD 13, 43rd edition. So 20 marks, which was being in our guest questions, directly 20 marks. It's not a small thing. It's a very good thing. And nothing great to discuss at all. No new point was being covered here. Everything was directly given. And only the thing that you have to take care is all about the brokerage that was being given. Brokerage. And also you have to go with right shares. 30% of the rights were sold, and remaining 70% were subscribed. So this should be reproduced properly. And apart from that, nothing new in this question again. So again, you have to go whether X interest purchased or cum interest purchased. These things will be mattering a lot. It might be a bit lengthy, but it's not such a lengthy that you cannot answer it in 30 minutes, because the total paper is for 100 marks, and each question is of 20 marks, wherein you have to answer in a maximum of 30 to 35 minutes. And it's lengthy, I do admit, but it's not such a lengthy that you cannot answer it in 30 minutes. You can happily answer. And yes. So here, the new thing that you have to look a bit is that both the investments have been classified as current investment. Mr. Jet decides to reclassify the investments in equity shares as long term. So from current, it was being reclassified to long term investment. So as per accounting standard number 13, under reclassification of current investment to long term investment, whatever the provision is there, that should be applicable here. And moving on to the next one, 3A. See, 3A is from branch accounts, and again, it was being directly from our material, page number 210. I'll be showing you, just wait. Page number 210 and CRD 3. This is the question. Problem number 3. Just look here as it is without any changing in the items also. Just the numbers were changed. Look here. Building extension was closed by transferring to head office. Manager's salary, everything will be same. Building extensions was closed, manager's salary. In the same style, it was being reproduced. Salaries, inclusive of advance, fire insurance paid for 1 year. Just have a look. Inclusive of advance, fire insurance paid for 1 year. Everything is same except change in numbers. Even this is also 6 months data. Even the question is also like 6 months data itself. But a bit bad news, I can tell that this question was not covered in the guest questions. Okay, and let's go with the 3B, which is accounts from incomplete records. Yes. So even this is also there in our material. Just have a quick look over that. Page number 258. Page number 258. Assignment problem number 14. Yes. Cash defalcation. And the same was here also. Cash defalcation. Cashier absconded with the cash available in the cash box. So it's almost similar to the same question. This question is similar. Look here, payment to creditors, cash deposited, stock, debtors, creditors, everything. So the same, stock, debtors, creditors, payments, cash deposited. It is also same. Just again, change in numbers. Apart from that, nothing great at all. And here, again, very, very happy, because it was been in page number 3, question number 7, assignment problem number 14. Let's have a look over that. Page number 3. Yeah, assignment problem number 14. Look here, and the same, which was covered in problem number 7. So another good question, 10 marks is being covered here. Now moving on to the next question. So yes. So that is the end of question number 4 and question number 3, and now question number 4. From the past many years and in many attempts, financial statements, preparation of financial statements, he's just testing 5 marks, and many of the people have taken it very light. And this time, bang on with the question. 20 marks has been asked from the question, from the preparation of financial statements. And of course, it's not new, but he has framed the question in such a way that the combination of 2 questions were mixed. I'll be just showing you here. Equity share capital, 8,05,000. If you have remembered, capital reserve problem will be there. One of the problems where in International Hotels Limited, we will be doing capital reserve. And the same point, yes, a shareholder could not pay the call, and hence his shares were forfeited and reissued. Whenever the shares were forfeited and reissued, you have to check for the capital reserve. If any profit on reissue is there or something like that, you have to check with this element, and the same was being covered. And also, one of the new points that was covered here is that company advised that independent valuer to revalue the land. Revaluation of land was covered. And next, suspense account. If you have remembered in one of the questions that we have done, in trail balance itself, he will be giving suspense account, which is wrong, because books of accounts shouldn't be finalized with suspense, right? And the same was being here. So let's have a look whether this is there in our material or not. Page number 304. And as I told you that this question is a combination of 2 CRDs or 2 questions. So CRD number 14 and 15. Look here, CRD number 14. See here, revalued to the extent of 3,60,000, declared final dividend 10%, even suspense account. See here, suspense account 4 or 4,000, whatever it is. The same was being here also. So suspense account 40,000, independent revaluation 36 lakhs, Even suspense here was given like 40. So just 0 is the difference if you observe with CRD number 14. And moving on to the next thing, CRD number 15. I've been told you that International Hotels Limited, right? And it was here. And if you observe 8,05,000, again, the numbers were same. Even the numbers were also not changed. The same was being reproduced. Even declared a final dividend, the same was being given. But only one thing is that a bit lengthy. So you have to strike on it properly because you need to answer this by considering the forfeiture of shares and transferring the profit to capital reserve. Profit on reissue, cancellation and profit on reissue should be, should be transferred to capital reserve. So this point should be noted a bit. Apart from that, again, this question is very, very easy. And you have to amortize 1/5 of the goodwill, which was the new point given here. So 1/5 of the goodwill shall has to be transferred to P&L account under the head depreciation and amortization and 20 marks. But again, I'll tell, I guess it was a bit bad luck because the same was not covered in the guest questions. Okay, but it was there in our material, take care. And now moving on to 5A, departmental accounts. So let's have a look over to the departmental accounts. 5A, departmental accounts. Yes, it was here. So the company is having two departments. Number one is dyed fabric department and number two is ready-made garments department. We are having a similar kind of question in our material, something like some fabric department or something like that, shoe department or something like that will be there. So let's have a quick look. Page number 115. CRD number 7. Okay. Yes. Some shoes department, I told you, right? So something like shoes department and finished leather department, this is what the point. So it was being very similar, but only one thing is that our final question is a bit more lengthy. Since he is asking to prepare entire trading P&L account, so it was a bit lengthy. So yeah, but it's not difficult. Again, I can tell that it's a combination of questions. This is one and some lengthy element will be there, right? If I was not wrong, we'll be showing you. Yeah, question number 1. Many of the elements will be there and wherein you have to apportion each and everything. The same was being given here. Many of the elements were there and you have to apportion each and everything. Of course, not difficult, as I told you that it's been easy again. And this time, this was covered in the guest questions. CRD, page number 2, problem number 4. Let's have a quick look like CRD 7. So guest questions, page number 2. Look here, departmental accounts, CRD number 7. Yes, 4, 43rd edition, which was being given here. And let's move on to another thing also, that is 5B. So what is 5B? Redemption of debentures. This is a direct problem which was given. If I was not wrong, even you have remembered the name, Libra Limited problem, because that name is very, very different and people will be remembering it like that, like Libra Limited problem or something like that. Even the same elements will be given, even convertible portion is there, even there in the question also we are having convertible portion, and even here also we are having. Let's have a look, page number 329. Problem number 3. See here, Libra Limited problem, the same, which was being happily covered here. But a bit bad luck again. I tell that being this was not covered under guest questions. See, it's highly impossible to predict each and every question directly. It's highly impossible to predict each and every question that is being asked from question paper, right? But majority of the questions, 75 is not a bad mark. It's a very good mark. More than exemption was being covered. Anyways, this question was not covered. Okay. And next, so let's move on to the next thing. Next question, 6A, right? Yeah, 6A, framework. So framework, which was being given here, let's have a quick look even over to that, CRD 9. Okay, in page number 9. So in accounting standards material. So just page number 9. Yeah, here. And it was CRD 9, right? Yeah, just 1 second. So let's go with the next question, that is 6A, which is like framework. So let's have a look over to the things. CRD number 9 in 9. Okay. So accounting standards, problem number, okay, I'm sorry, it's not problem number 9. It was a little updation mistake. It was being in problem number 6. Financial capital maintenance at historical cost, and financial maintenance, capital maintenance at current cost, and finally physical capital maintenance at current cost basis. And the question is asking about physical capital maintenance at current cost. So see, many of the people will be leaving this framework actually. They will be preparing accounting standard number 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 16, whatnot, everything, every accounting standard, including 3 and 13, which is cash flow statement and investment. But people will be having a bit of carelessness towards framework and introduction. And in the recent times, a board is consistently testing a question from framework. So this is another question from framework. They are not expecting that the framework questions from the framework, because they are not testing on the same style of the questions from framework. Different questions were being tested. And for your kind information, even in CA Inter, CA IPCC also, a different question from framework is being tested. So take care, don't leave framework. It's a bit important. You can consider now that entire chapter, entire framework is important. Okay. And even the same was also being covered under our material, but the same was not covered under guest questions. And now moving on to 6B, insurance claims. So let's have a look over to it. 6B, insurance claims. Yes. And page number 99. So let's have a look over to that also. Page number 99, problem number 6. Bah, very easy problem. If you look here, very small and easy problem. And the thing that you have to take care is that at the time of valuing the stock, on a particular item, since it was a slow moving, it was being written off. The same point was being given here, that a small point is being written off, being a slow moving item, which was originally purchased for 20,000. And the same style of the question is here also, which was originally purchased for 10,000. So again, this is an easy question. So yes, the same was also covered under guest questions. So I'll be showing you even there, page number 2, insurance claims. Yeah, here it is. Problem number 1. Guest questions, insurance claims. Yes, CRD 3. Problem number 1. So the same was being covered also. And moving on to the next one, C. 6C is all about hire purchase. So see, people will be preparing hire purchase in a high end way. But the question he has asked is a very basic question, that the total cash price, to find the total cash price. So the same total cash price, which was being page number 68. Problem number 2A. This is what the question. And if you observe, down payment at the end of first year, second year, and the third year. And if you observe the question, initially down payment, and at the end of first year, second year, third year, and some rate was being given here. And the same question, some rate was being given here. So let's have a quick look whether it was being covered under guest questions or not. Yes. Page number 1, problem number 1. So accounting guest questions, page number 1, problem number 1 in hire purchase. Yes, CRD 1, problem number 1, which was happily covered. And moving on to the next thing, profit and loss prior to incorporation is our next question, 1D. See, the question is very, very easy. He is just asking on what basis you're supposed to apportion between the thing, basis of apportionment. It was not being directly covered, but while doing the problems, we will be writing the base, right? And in such a way, it was being covered. So let's have a look over page number 22, CRD 1. See all the items like director's fees, advertisement, salaries, preliminary expenses. If you observe here, preliminary expenses, direct fees, salaries, audit fees, commissions, etc. And also, we can proudly tell that the same was being given under our concept in theory also. So nothing great, and it is also a very, very easy question. Just you're supposed to write the basis of apportionment, like sales ratio or time ratio or something like that. And finally, with the 6E bonus issue, and I'll be showing you whether it was covered. Yes. Page number 1, problem number 1, CRD1. Let's have a look over page number 1, problem number 1. Profit and loss prior to incorporation. Yes, even hire purchase was being also covered in page number 1, problem number 1, 2A. And moving on to the last and final question, that is bonus issue. So just have a look over to this question. Again, same question. It was listed company given. Nothing great, and even this is easy because you have to be a bit careful because bonus issue for listed company, there might be 1 or 2 regulations will be more, like SEBI regulations have to be applied, that securities premium should be realized in cash. If you observe here very clearly given that securities premium was not realized in cash, and hence you are not supposed to utilize this. So let's have a look over page number 270. Page number 270, problem number CRD3. Yeah, this is the question. Final call. But the difference is that here securities premium collected in cash was given, whereas here securities premium not realized in cash. But apart from that, remaining is same. See here, a company has made a final call, and even company was made a final call. Everything is same. But here securities premium was collected in cash, and here the securities premium was not being collected in cash. So this should not be utilized, and hence. And have a look whether this was there in our material. Guess questions? Yes. Page number 3, problem number 2. Guess questions. Page number 3, bonus issue and rights issue. Problem number 2, yes, CRD 343rd edition. Yes. And hence we can proudly admit that from the entire question paper, which was for 125 marks, entire 125 marks were directly from our material 43rd edition. And the proud moment is that more than exemption marks, that is 75 marks, were being directly from our guess questions. So, my dear children, whether studying CA Foundation or CA Inter, are highly recommended and instructed to please don't neglect the guess questions, because many of the people will be taking guess questions as light. So what so happened, the same question, some of the questions will be picked and given in the form of guess questions. No, it's not like that. See, the work is being done in a very scientific way by identifying each and everything, by putting the past examination papers, etc. and etc. And hence we too recommend to each and every student and instructing to each and everyone that please don't neglect guess questions, and before going to the examination, go through the guess questions for sure. And last and final tagline, especially for accounts, please don't look at the question and solution. Please practice by putting pen on the paper. Anyways, my dear children, thank you and have a nice day.